Cool. Why don't we get started? I'm going to drop the agenda in chat, and we can just go down the list. So I'm going to start with the indexer. Um, Basically, I think last meeting we had talked about how there are new requirements that Node Fleet has for the work that they're doing, and Node Fleet and CloudMost, their teams were going to be meeting up in person to chat about this and come up with a solution. So yes, Abby should be recording. So we'll get this up on YouTube after. But I wanted to just invite the folks from NodeFleet and Max if you want to chat through the requirements and then the proposal for the solution for that so we can see if there's any feedback. Otherwise, I'd really like to move that one forward just because I know it is a blocker for the UI, UX, and sales data projects that we have going on. So I can invite, if you want to raise your hand to speak, or I can invite you all to the stage. That would be great.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
How's it
Hey, what's
going?
going
You guys
on?
are doing well.
Right.
So yeah,
I'm gonna just
I
quick open the requirements and then we can I'll drop them here and then you can talk about your solution. All right.
sure. So yeah, we've been speaking, me and Lowell from Nodefleet, asynchronously to synchronize on defining the requirements for the marketplace, um, specifically which what kind of data is needed from the indexer slash API. And we went back and forth couple of times, and they finally put up a very nice detailed document that is linked in the discussions on GitHub. So based on that, we put up a proposal of how much we estimated to take to implement that. So it's all in the issue there. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me.
Sorry, I was just muted. Lowell or Adrian, do you have anything that you want to add there just to give some more context?
Well, I would say that we just add in the documentation like the missing endpoints and some improvement for the from some existing method. It's just more than it's just more than just add some new properties, sorting option in some existing method, also filter options. I just put some image reference for have like the context in which part we're gonna use that those improvement or those new endpoints. Um, yes, I think is I mean it could be good that I don't know the community can read this, and if there is a question about it, I will answer because it's just new methods, new improvement in some existing method, and that's it. I don't know if there is a question about it.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. And from my perspective, we really want to make sure that you guys have everything you need to keep moving forward so that you're not slowed down in development because we are really hoping to get the new marketplace improvements done by the end of the year.
Mhm.
I know, Max, you said your timeline is like 1 to 2 months. So ideally, we'd like to get this approved really quickly too, so you can get started and make sure that you have enough time. Things might get pushed into next year, and that's
Mhm.
okay, but the sooner the better. So I think if anyone has any feedback or questions about the proposal, that I will link it in chat. It'll be in the meeting notes, but I think we spoke about this within our core team yesterday, and I think we'd really like to recommend that we move forward with the bounty for adding these new endpoints so we can get it moving quickly, but definitely open to feedback and discussion.
Cool.
Good.
From my
Uh,
perspective, it's
good.
very clear, very nice document that you guys put up based on my feedback. Thanks, guys.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you guys. All right, cool.
Nice.
Oh, well, uh, huh?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. I just wanna chime in and say, like, in the meantime, we are working in the front end, like mockups, right? We still can like advance in the project even if we don't have those methods up until a point, of course, because we need the data to display properly all the information that the NFT marketplace is gonna have. But in the meantime, what we're doing is we're just like moving forward with the designs that were already approved after the UX test that Christian Catherine has been working with the community so far.
Yeah, that's great. We've seen a lot of progress, and I think it would be really beneficial for you guys, maybe just to have a meeting with Ryan, our Chief Product Officer, just to go over that and kind of have his direct input. So I would propose that you guys separately have a meeting, just so you can show him your progress directly. I know that we have visibility into all the Figma designs, but as it's coming together on the front end, it'd be really good to get a direct look at that. And I think Ryan is ideally suited for that rather than me. So I'd like to get him involved and get you guys in discussion.
Excellent. Yeah.
Since we have you
We
on,
can
do you
send them
have
the
any
email.
other? Sorry, maybe
Yeah,
a
you
delay.
just say like we can send them the maze link and the link where we have all the change in real time, so he can see our progress and where are we heading to. And yeah, in any case, we can have that conversation and maybe add him in the group that we have together, and we can coordinate moving forward.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else you guys wanted to update on or that you have to show? I know that the demo was it was very early stages last time. So if there's anything you wanted to link to for the group or share screen on.
We're still with the same status as mentioned the last time. We are keep working with some. I mean, with some views. We don't update the actual. I mean, we are waiting for finish some stuff to upload for upload the new version of the demo. Maybe tomorrow or at least the next week, you will see next new changes in the demo.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, maybe at that point we can have a meeting with Ryan and just review it with you guys, because I want to make sure you're getting real-time feedback. So
Cool.
awesome. Well, thank you very much. I think the next thing on the agenda is NFT staking, and I see Tassio is here. So I wanted to invite him just to give an update. Um, I know that the original project for the smart contracts was done as of last month, but he's working on CW20 rewards, kind of as an addition to that. So, Tassio, do you have any updates you wanted to share?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so I just some delays on my end because of some personal stuff and some delays in my other projects as well. But it is on the top of my priority list, and I will be, working on that in the coming week. So just looking to wrap up the CW20 functionality on the NFT staking side, as well as patch the contract with some of the findings from the review. So those are kind of on my plate at this time, and I should be able to wrap them up within the coming week.
Awesome, that's great. And then I don't see James on here, but I think on the front end side, James's team was working on the NFT staking front end. They had done like high fidelity Figma designs, and They were looking to just get in touch with the Node Fleet team to get access to the repo once it's available. I understand that there's nothing to really give them access to at this point, but we'll just want to have you guys in touch with them so that they can start implementing their designs on the front end once it's ready. But I'm understanding that those things are kind of codependent, so we'll have to just wait until there's more progress made on the front end for the marketplace. But Lowell, Adrian, if you're able to just be in touch with James directly, that'd be awesome to make sure that he has what he needs when the time comes.
Okay, cool. Actually, I think we can share our repository. I think that both projects are being the same web page, right?
Yes.
Okay, we can internally do that, like share the repo.
Okay,
And then
awesome.
and they
I
can
can
work
give
it.
you his GitHub and then just make sure that you have his Discord so you can chat with him too.
Okay, cool.
Okay, let me just make note of that. Okay, and then, yeah, I think the last thing on NFT staking, we did issue the additional bonus bounty to James's team for their peer review. There weren't any like significant or critical vulnerabilities that were found, but they did put together a very, very thorough report, and Tassio is making some changes based on that, like you mentioned. So we issued that bonus bounty last week or the week before, I think, just as an FYI, and that's all been updated on the bounty board. Okay, next thing on the agenda, Anil is here from VitWit. We had just assigned the bounty for the Passage airdrop checker website for the Strange Clan airdrop. So, Anil, do you want to give an update on that?
Uh, yes, so we have the designs ready for the airdrop checker website, and also we started indexing staking history of all the airdrop accounts. So yeah, we are expecting to have the data ready by early next week, and before that, we want to have the interface airdrop checker website ready with some dummy data for anyone to play around. And yeah, by end of next week we should have some working website ready, and then we go for testing the next week.
That's great. Do you want to share the Figma designs with us so we can take a look in the meantime?
Yeah, sure. uh I'll try to get a link and I'll share you the designs today.
Awesome, thank you. Cool. Well, that sounds like that'll be ready pretty quickly, and then I think the claims period for that ends, or it begins in, I want to say March. So we've got a good chunk of time where people will be able to check and just make sure that they are still eligible, and that'll be a good time frame.
Yeah, also, like, I just wanted to understand if current indexer is capable of giving taking history of an account.
Max, are you able to answer that?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, can I query staking history of an account from current indexer?
The staking history of an
Yeah.
address?
Yes.
Yeah, you can query like the list of transaction for like staking or unstaking for an address. Yeah.
Great. So maybe you can share me some handy link, that would be helpful.
Yeah, we can talk async about how you would like to query that data, either like directly on the database or through a custom API endpoint or whatever.
Do you have the custom API?
No, not for staking,
Okay.
but like I can pull up the data pretty fast if you just want to like see it for a single time, or you want to query it yourself. It'll take a little bit more effort.
Okay. So where can I find these details? So maybe if you can share me those details, I'll just try with that. It is just to cross check uh, this history versus the indexing that we are doing. So just that we will be confident enough.
Yeah, could just DM me, we'll talk async and we'll figure it out.
Yep, sure. Thank you.
Thank you guys. And Max, I just wanted to say I really appreciate you and the Node Fleet team as well, just coordinating kind of async and working through that. It's been really great to see all those discussions happening on the side. All right, cool. Then the next two things I wanted to talk about are new bounties that we have coming up we have the requirements more or less nailed down. They're not fully fleshed out yet, but we're hoping to get those bounties up in the next couple of days. One is for an NFT collection launch interface, so a front end for being able to create new NFT collections on the marketplace. And then separately, this is kind of related to our collaboration with AADAO. I don't know if you saw, we recently did a bunch of side events with them at Cosmoverse or during Cosmoverse. And kind of part of our collaboration is bringing Atom to the Passage Marketplace, creating custom avatar assets for AADAO on the Passage Marketplace. And we wanted to open up a bounty for this community to help contribute to that. So the second bounty is going to be just adding Atom as a payment method. So Ryan and Mike have more information that they're going to share about that. Like I said, we're still working through the requirements, but as far as I understand, it's mostly going to be front end, back end work and will not require too much smart contract work. So we wanted to run through that with you guys and then give you a heads up before we post the bounties later this week.
Cool. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right, great. So the first one is the web interface for launching NFT collections. So right now, you know, we as Passage have to do that through command line, and it's kind of a big pain, but also it doesn't really allow long term for anybody else to do this. Um, so we're looking to create a web-based interface in the marketplace that allows us to launch NFT collections onto the Passage marketplace. The plan for this, as far as how it would be used, would be at the outset. It would still just be the Passage team that's using it. It'll give us additional time to test it and really get it battle tested. Um, and then eventually we would open it up over time, starting with kind of trusted creators. So folks who have launched collections before, or just folks that we're very familiar with or have a really good reputation, primarily within Cosmos. They would have freedom to get added to a whitelist um, and then be able to launch their own collections, and then eventually just fully opened up, ideally where anybody can just sign on and launch a collection. We just want to be careful about it because um, the Passage marketplace is meant to be a marketplace for NFTs that are going to leverage Passage in some way, whether they're avatar assets or access passes to Passage worlds, or eventually world building assets, things like that. And so we don't want to just open it up and be flooded with stuff. There's lots of other marketplaces to just launch, a fun art collection. That's really not what this is meant for. So we do want to be a little bit protective at the outset, but we want to move towards allowing more folks to launch collections and provide value on the marketplace, which will also just get them using Passage more ideally because they'll have a some kind of utility within Passage. So that is the general plan. As far as the scope of work goes, there's going to be UI UX design that'll leverage what Node Fleet is already doing for that market refresh, but obviously it'll need its own design there. The functionality to launch the collections, so building a mechanism for users to upload, categorize, and launch the NFT collections, including metadata management, pricing, mint whitelists, airdrop lists, asset previews, etc. Um, Allowing users to view what mints they have upcoming. So again, at the outset, that would really just be us, but in the long run, that would be individuals who might have multiple collections, having a way for them to kind of manage all their collections that are about to come out or have already come out. The ability to withdraw funds from the mint contract. smart contract integration, just ensuring that that the interface that we interface securely with the Passage smart contracts. Um, the marketplace integration. So when somebody creates a collection, just getting it all listed in the marketplace automatically. Again, that's the thing that right now we do a bit manually. Whitelist launching functionality, so making it so only users who are on the whitelist can launch a collection, and then that whitelist will be controlled by the Passage core team through the front end UI. Um, so that's the whitelist for who can create collections, not the whitelist for who can purchase, NFTs. That would be within those requirements for the UI for the collection creator. Then testing and documentation, deliverables. The full functioning web interface with all. Obviously we will get full specs kind of listed out there for them, but user documentation, developer documentation, testing report, and then source code and repo access. Um, and then that's largely it. We're talking about a December 11th due date for proposals for this. So the goal would be that we can get it up in the next couple days, give folks a little bit more than 2 weeks, and then ideally we can have a proposal selected or preliminarily selected ahead of the next steering committee meeting on the 18th. So that is the web interface, and then the Atom integration is much simpler. Essentially, you will be able to select Atom or Passage when creating a collection, and that will be the currency that collection is transacted in. It's not a matter of I'm going on to buy a Strange Clan NFT and I can choose either one at the time of purchase. This will be defined within a collection, which make things a bit simpler in terms of our smart contracts already allow for you to specify the currency. So in this case, it'll be either Passage or IBC Atom specifically, not native Atom. So creating a collection, you'll specify which one you want, and then it's really a lot of front end work, or not a lot, but you know the bulk of this is front end work, just to make the marketplace that NoFleet's working on smart enough to read from the smart contract what denomination it should be showing, um, as well as ensuring that when somebody interacts with one of the smart contracts, it's interacting in the right currency as well. Um, and then on the back end, we'll need to update some existing endpoints to handle multiple denominations. Um, and then yeah, there's just the general testing and quality assurance as well as documentation. That one should be far simpler than the web interface and be much quicker. But it is separate. Um, and likely a similar due date for that December 11th is probably what we'll aim for. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts on either of those, or stuff that you think we're missing, or um, yeah, any questions or thoughts there? All right.
It might need to take time to go through specifically the collection launching interface. Might need to give people some time to go through that, and we can answer some questions as they come up. Because yeah, that's a little more involved than the Atom integration.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'll give a couple weeks for submissions, but we can always, hop on with people and answer questions separately if any of you guys on the call are interested in potentially working on that project. We can give more context and background before the next meeting. We don't have to wait until the middle of December. So
Yeah, and if we had to push it back,
I think Ryan just got rugged.
was I not talking?
No,
Can you hear me?
you can now.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say we can also delay a little bit if needed. I think the goal is just before the holidays and therefore before the end of the new year to get those bounties finalized and awarded to somebody, so that work can start, and that can be happening kind of from the start of the new year and let folks hit the ground running. So we do have a little bit of wiggle room in that timeline.
For sure. And I think this really plays into just trying to like get all these things going by the end of the year. Because I don't know if Errol, you just want to generally speak to like our focus on the Passage core tech side and how it ties into open source moving into 2025. I don't know if we talked about like open beta at all in our last meeting, but maybe we can just share a bit about that and our plans.
Yeah, that would actually be the close. So the open beta is the phase that we've always
Sorry.
had. The open beta is the phase that we've had planned for folks to come in and start paying a subscription fee, and that'll be more enterprise level folks. Although we are seeing a lot of interest from people that want to use it on an enterprise level while also heavily engaging with the blockchain, um, including some folks that like are not Web3 native, but are, you know, one of the main draws to Passage is actually the blockchain, which is very cool to see. The closed beta is the new kind of phase that we're talking about introducing, which is going to come. We're not reorganizing any priorities for what we're developing. We just realized there was an opportunity to insert a spot for us to bring in a lot more folks who are more blockchain focused as users. So primarily community folks that we want to bring in that will not pay a subscription fee, will just pay their streaming fees, but are more geared towards leveraging the blockchain, whether that's they just want to, you know, play with avatar assets they bought, or they're interested in launching a small collection, or whatever it might be. But really a community driven phase to get us a lot more feedback, to bring in a lot more users. And again, with those users being folks that have expressed a strong interest in the blockchain. Um, so like I said, we're not reorganizing any priorities for that. It's really just there is a spot in our priority list in our roadmap where it makes sense to bring folks in, because everything they would need to kind of execute on that level will be there. And then after that, we'll be finishing up some items that we need to finish up for more of the enterprise solution beyond that.
Yeah, and then one thing I'll add, so to kind of speak to this focus on, um, you know, Passage going into 2025, I think a big thing for us is we really want to bring Passage to events, and especially, you know, the crypto events that have already kind of seen the vision of what we're trying to create. Ultimately, I've been posting about this a lot on X, but you know, one of the biggest things that we're seeing with the current users of Passage is one, they want to use it because of the high fidelity of the experience. They want to take advantage of, you know, a lot of the gamification elements that you can bring into a Passage world. But then on top of that, they want to be able to use NFTs. So, you know, a big thing for us going into 2025 is, you know, how can we start to bring a lot more of the crypto events out there into Passage and start using them for like side events, using them for ways to expand their events reach, and pretty much at no cost to them, because ultimately, you know, once we are actually charging for this, and then on top of that, they're paying their streaming fees. A big thing that's an opportunity for them is to be able to, you know, bring in sponsors for these Passage side events, and basically be able to get all their costs covered. So it's really a easy win-win for them. They get to expand their reach. They get to create a really engaging experience. And then for a lot of these events, one of the things that, you know, I've personally noticed, especially in talking to event organizers, is the reason they put together some of these events in these locations is they're trying to draw attention to the talent that is in that area. But oftentimes people overlook events in certain regions just simply because it's in a region that they don't really have familiarity with, you know, how popular is this event? You know, what are they actually going to be able to get going to that crypto event versus another one? So oftentimes you have this talent continuously overlooked. I mean, I think I see that a lot actually with a lot of the South America crypto events. Is, you know, a lot of times the talent in those areas gets overlooked, and it would be great to just keep drawing more attention to that. But the easiest way to do that is to actually host a thing that anybody can participate in, even if you didn't make the flight out there. So how can you get a taste of the event and a taste of the experience before even flying out there? So that's one of the things we're doing. That was definitely a big thing that kind of came out of the collaboration as well with AADAO. You know, a lot of the experience of the event got to spread out into the digital space. So a lot of cool stuff. Appreciate you guys.
Okay, as I just unmuted, I started choking, so sorry. Thank you guys for that. I think the last thing on our agenda I wanted to raise, and I'll invite, excuse me, Dan on stage to speak. Dan had a potential project that he was running by some of the validators, an IBC status monitoring bot. So Dan, if you want to come on stage and just talk about like what the need for that is and what you're thinking, and we can maybe get some real-time feedback. There are some validators in this group right now. So perhaps you can get some more discussion going around that and see if it's something we want to propose a bounty for.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. Basically, is a IBC monitoring bot which does mainly two things. So, first of one, which is monitoring stuck packets on certain paths. So let's, for instance, we can set, monitoring between passage and osmosis, for instance. And we can receive notifications on Discord when, for example, a packet stays there without being relayed for, I don't know, let's say 30 minutes. And then the same can happen, but for expiring client connections. So if it's, let's say, 14 days left or 7 days left or whatever in the connection, and it's about to expire in 7 days, then there's gonna be a notification sent on Discord too. And in addition to this, let's say you relay on passage osmosis and you're interested in if something's wrong there, you want to take action, you can actually use a command to add your Discord tag, and you'll receive all notifications which are related to one path. So let's say, passage osmosis. And that's pretty much it. That's what it does, and it's basically a Discord bot that can be added to the Passage Discord server, and it could have its own like channel, and that's where it will send notifications. That's where it will listen for commands, and so on. So yeah, that's basically it. Let me know if you have any questions or if you think this could be useful. Maybe probably not right now because there's not that much IBC traffic, but maybe once there's gonna be more paths open, maybe that's when. So yeah.
So I just wanted to ask, how common is it for these issues to pop up of having an issue with an IBC relay? I mean, I have had issues before with a relay, but they usually just revert. And the other question is, if we get an alert, if these alerts are set up and we get an alert in Discord about there being an issue, what do we do in response to that? Like, do the relayers know enough to be able to fix it? Or is this specific to a relayer would have to go on their own server to fix it? Like, what would happen there?
Yeah, so to respond to your second question, it's a bit fresher in my mind. It's basically yes, it's just a way to let relayers know, hey, something's wrong. You need to take action and see, what's wrong. Why the relayer, your relayer, let's say, I'm relaying on this path, and I get this notification. That means there's no active relayer that can take care of these packets, and now they are stuck, right? And this can affect the user experience on Passage, on whatever they're doing. So yes, it depends. Like some relayers are more, reliable than others, and there's maybe 3, 4, 5 relayers on some paths. And maybe there's no need for such tool, but for paths that are less covered by relayers, let's say there's only one or two, then this can be an issue. And same with those paths that aren't as used, which clients can expire. And you don't want that to happen, because then you need to make governance proposals and that kind of stuff. And
Right.
sorry, what was the first question? Forgot that one.
So it was like how common is it for something that this is going to be monitoring to happen? Whether it's I mean, well, yeah, whether it's the IBC connection to expire, or whether it's for IBC transactions to get stuck, or something else that it's monitoring. Like, how common is that?
I think I kind of answered this already, but yeah, I can. Like, it's basically like it depends. So for passage osmosis, there's probably not gonna be an issue, because that's basically the most used path. But let's say for some reason you want a connection with, I don't know, Kava or something, or Stride in the future for an LST or something like that, which maybe in the beginning it's less covered by relayers, or maybe less utilized, or it really depends. But rule of thumb is, if a path is covered by 3 relayers or more, then you've got three relayers, and it's less likely for all of them to be offline at the same time. But if you got 1 or 2, then that can increase the probability of both relayers, or the one relayer going down, and then there's nobody else to take care of those packets, and then the user experience will suffer. And there's gonna be complaints on Discord, Telegram, or whatever. It's just a nice tool to have, to ensure there's always at least one relayer that's taking care of packets on certain paths, IBC paths. I hope that made sense.
Thanks.
And you've built this for other communities, right? Like, is there another Discord we could look at as an example?
So I'm in talks with Tyler right now, from Akash, to implement this on their Discord server.
Okay.
Yeah, but currently there's only one instance running as a kind of test on our own server.
Got it. Can you drop a link to that so we can check it out?
Yeah, sure. Let me see.
Sorry if that was already in the document you shared.
No, the server wasn't. No. But I can send some invitation.
Awesome.
I got a quick question.
Yep.
What's the difference between this tool and using Grafana with Blackbox, which lets you like create rules for requesting in an iterative way against one IP, or against it can be a pin, it can be a HTTP request, and usually Grafana has integrations with Discord bots. I'm mentioning this because we at Snowflake, we run like around 50 different blockchain nodes, and we have a Discord bot. Every time one of them goes down, or if some of our nodes like get like stressed up or something bad happens, that Discord bots just pin us. But we were talking about tools that are already there. I mean, but usually Blackbox, what tells you is you can like modify all the rules, and it's already like built in. I want to know, maybe this is something that you can add to your existing bot, or what exactly like those your bot, apart from that black box tool that is already out there, that maybe is a validation in the RPC or node validator set, or will validate on a block. Maybe something more on-chain specific that is doing, apart from just checking when a service is up and down.
I'd never heard of that tool before, so I'm not exactly sure what it does or what it doesn't. when compared to this spot we've created. I will need to look into it. I don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah, I can send you the information.
Yeah,
But
please.
basically, is the tool lets you, let's say, Grafana in the first place is just a dashboard system, and you can connect various kind of backends, various kind of tooling, to create analytics and charts for monitoring and let's say actively looking for services. And one of them is Blackbox, which is the one I mentioned. And you can create rules for monitoring every X amount of time, specific IPs, a specific ping, a specific calls, right? And if those calls doesn't happen, you can retry 3 or 4 or 5 times. If it doesn't happen, it sends an alarm. And the alarm can go to a Discord bot, can go through an email, can go through an SMS. It's more like, of course, that's a more let's say complete solution because it's made for DevOps and for infrastructure. But maybe some of those tooling and features you can use it for your bot. Yeah, just throwing ideas around it because it sounds to me that some of those features are built in there. But if not, then you can just use those features that are just built in and you can integrate it with your bot. Make it more, I don't know, you can take ideas from there if you like.
Yeah, makes sense. So the way our bot works is basically it checks via REST endpoints and RPC endpoints to see if a certain channel has any stuck packets. Not stuck packets, sorry, just packets. If those packets are there for like 30 minutes, that's when it sends a ping on Discord. And then you could also add tags to those channels. Like if a packet is stuck on the osmosis path, then you will get notified there. So I think from what I understood, it's what you're saying from Blackbox. It tries to reach an API or something, and then if it doesn't work like a few times, that's when you're gonna get the notification.
Yeah, but also you can create a rule where you say, I'm sending this request and I'm expecting this kind of response. So you can, in a way, create more advanced responses, right, on your side and create calls. So yeah, I just like sending out the tooling. Maybe it's something that you can take advantage of because it's already there, or maybe just take ideas from there. Just that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. Always keen to learn more, for sure. Please send that through if you can.
I will in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Is there anything else that anyone wanted to go over? We've covered a lot, and I think we're just at the end of the meeting, but if there's any other questions or ideas people have, open floor. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for your time. There's so much happening, and I really, really appreciate all the work that all of you are doing. Enjoy the all-time high today.
Yee! Bitcoin and 95K.
Oh, I want 100 for my birthday. That's all I'm asking. I don't think I'm asking too much.
Easy peasy.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Yee.
Take care, guys.
Stay Dragon fam.
Yeah.